So Charles Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, has ruffled the feathers of Peter Obi supporters in a long thread he posted on Twitter. Recall that last week, during a TV appearance, he was asked what had become of the investments Peter Obi purportedly made on behalf of Anambra State when he was governor. And Charles Soludo in response said, those investments, they have become nothing to write home about, essentially. And he actually said that in passing because, to his credit, he was asked and immediately answered the question. He said, instead of talking about Peter Obi's purported investment, why don't we talk about my budget proposal for Anambra State as governor? To his credit, he didn't set all out to mention anything about Peter Obi's investment. It was the TV anchor that asked him a question, and he answered the question. But that didn't go down well with Peter Obi supporters, and they did their thing. If you're familiar with how Peter Obi supporters behave on Twitter, on the internet, you'd know what they did to him. They criticized him. They said he was jealous. They made all sort of inferences, and they drew their conclusions, essentially. Now, in a long thread he posted as response to all the criticism he got from Peter Obi supporters, he made many points in that thread, and I'd like to go over a few points that stood out to me in the thread. So first off, he criticized the mob mentality among Peter Obi supporters, and I think I did a video about this a couple of months ago, in which I said Peter Obi supporters might have gone too far. And I remember in that video, I appealed for caution. We live in a democracy. We live in a multi-party system. People are free to make their choices, regardless of whether you agree with said choices or not. And to be fair also, the reason the obedience camp seems to be toxic on the internet is because overwhelmingly the youth demographic are in support of Peter Obi. So ordinarily, their voice will be the loudest on the internet. And if it were any other candidate, youth overwhelmingly supports, whether it's Tinubu or Atiku or Ishore, they would exhibit the same tendencies. So it just happens to be that Peter Obi is the one who has won the hearts of young people, and of course, you know how the internet works. Toxicity thrives on the internet. We live in a buzz internet culture. Negative replies, clapbacks. These are posts that tend to go viral on the internet. So negativity thrives on the internet actually, and so because people want to go viral also, so they tend to engage in toxic behavior in a creative way. And these are some of the reasons why it seems the obedience camp is very toxic on the internet. But I can tell you, if it were any other candidate, Atiku, Tinubu, Shore, Kwakanso, if there's any other candidate who has a level of support among young Nigerians, they would exhibit the same thing. So on that point, Soludo says he wasn't going to bend down to the mob rule and that he was going to speak his truth, and that he did. Another interesting point he made in the thread was to talk about the relationship he has with Peter Obi, as against the insinuations among obedients that he has some type of animosity or envy towards Peter Obi. And he says that both of them call themselves brothers. He mentions how their relationship dates back many years, and that how he has helped Peter Obi in his capacity as governor. He says he hasn't used the instrumentality of the state of Anambra against the campaign of Peter Obi. He mentioned how he has given the Labour Party leeway when it comes to their campaign activities in Anambra State, even to the point of them pasting their posters in illegal places. And he juxtaposed that to how the same Peter Obi treated the Labour Party when he was governor of Anambra State. That's one of the allegations that have been made against Peter Obi, and I think that is valid and interesting in itself. He also addressed the anti-Igbo accusations that have been leveled against him for not supporting Peter Obi, who is a fellow Anambarian, who is a fellow Igbo man. One would have thought that in Peter Obi, Indigbo stands a chance of actualizing their dream of an Igbo presidency. But for some reason, Peter Obi hasn't gotten the backing of Southeast governors and other major Igbo leaders. The only major backing Peter Obi has gotten from the Southeast is from Ohanaeze Indigbo, which is the apex sociocultural group of Igbo people. And so Charles Soludo argues that the fact that an Igbo man like him is not in support of Peter Obi's ticket does not make him anti-Igbo. He believes that for Indigbo to actualize their dream of an Igbo presidency, it's going to take more than that. He believes it has to be strategic and they have to work towards it. That for Peter Obi to stand a chance of winning a pan-Nigerian support next year, is going to take beyond affiliations with sociocultural groups like Afenifere or Ohanaeze Indigbo. He also argued that why is Tinubu not regarded as anti-Yoruba when he was at loggerheads with Olusegun Obasanjo? He argued why is Kwankwaso not regarded as anti-North for contesting against Atiku Abubakar. So if an Igbo man like him is not in support of Peter Obi based on his own beliefs and based on his own permutations of how to actualize an Igbo presidency, it shouldn't be regarded as being anti-Igbo. Let me add that he also doubled down on the claim that Peter Obi's investments are worthless today. He even went on to say that unemployment actually grew under Peter Obi, but it reduced under his predecessor, Willie Obiano. And he even said people should go and verify, which a term he basically stole from Peter Obi. But here's my concluding thoughts on the whole thing. I think Charles Soludo was a bit disingenuous when he was trying to paint Peter Obi as a serial defector. He himself started his political career in PDP until he left in 2013 or so. So the fact that he was trying to paint Peter Obi as a serial defector, to me, is being disingenuous. I should also add that Charles Soludo's son has distanced himself from his father's political beliefs. He issued a statement, I think on Facebook or so, if I'm not mistaken, saying that he's in support of the Obi ticket. So, but overall, I think he gave a very lengthy response. He made some valid points. Of course, not everyone's going to agree with that, especially Peter Obi supporters. It is what it is. I guess as weeks go by, the political arena is going to become more interesting and more interesting. So that will be all for today. Like this video for the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and let me guys know what you think about the whole episode with Charles Soludo and Peter Obi supporters. Till next time, stay safe.